Welcome back to Melbourne. Formula 2's second visit to this great city continues right now with qualifying. And for the 22 in the field, this is going to be a real thrill. It's tough, it's high speed, but what a circuit awaits these talented young...
In this qualifying session, we did see a short, well, not a short, but an interrupted Formula 3 session earlier on. And there's every chance that the Formula 2 session will be similar. That's why you're seeing cars pouring out onto the racetrack to get those early bankers in.
So this is completely uncharted territory for Formula 2 because 1 year ago it was torrential rain for this session. We had interruptions after interruptions. So this is our first dry qualifying session for Formula 2 at Albert Park. We've had a season of surprises and shocks and promotions to Formula 1 if you're car number 3, Oliver Bearman.
He didn't need exactly this. Let's see what's befallen him then, as he's going to make his way through the apex of turn 6. And I'm wondering if he's going to do exactly what Alexander Albon did, pretty much, a slightly different trajectory of spin. In Formula 1 free practice, spun up the outside wheels on the curb, Plank gets picked up across that outside curb, and he goes for a ride.
That curb has been causing drama all the way through the day. The front momentarily lifted in the air in complete desperation. Over the road, chasing the wildlife that escapes just in time. But not the only one doing that as well. Rafael Villagomez had a spin there in practice. Look at the front of the car, full of turf.
It's like Attenborough right of screen, Fast and Furious left of screen, and then they just sort of blend in the middle.
Late, whether it's early, it is time to head back onto the circuit. 21 cars then will eventually be taking to the fast lane, to the circuit, and generating all of that temperature themselves, Alex.
Yeah, they sure will. No tyre warming apparatus allowed in Formula 2. I should say it's quite a strong and very indecisive wind down there in the pit lane, or when you wander down there. It keeps on swinging around. It's a general tailwind down towards...
Through the grass at turn 1 on his first run. This is the first set of push laps that will count. This is the man who was on pole last round. Miney across the line. Miney sets a 1:30.359 as the time to beat. Here's our championship leader. Got a car in the way. Time it nicely. That might turn into a tow. Correa is second. Where does Maloney go? Maloney moves up to that second place. Miata slotting into fourth. His teammate in the second Rodin.
Maloney lost a lot of front end then through the final corner of the lap as Antonelli comes across the line to put himself P1, a 30.3, but Maloney with a lot left in the tank there, caught the limiter as well, if you heard it, out of the final corner, which will have cost him all the way down the straight.
From the Campos in front of him. Hauger going very nicely in the middle part of the lap. Bortoletto goes up to fourth position. This is the Estonian driver that we're following over the line. Let's see where he goes. Marty's up to 9th, make that 10th, because Aaron goes to the front of the field. A reminder for you that if we get the green flag action, this track will ramp up all the way to the end. We're on board with the driver who has the fastest middle sector of all as he heads into the penultimate corner, Alex.
Dennis Hauger looking very hooked up, isn't he? Not too much movement going on the steering wheel, nice and close to the outside curb, fastest in the middle sector. Hadjar jumps up to second at this stage. What can Hauger do? He can depose him down to third. Second place for Hauger, just a 10th, well, less than a 10th away from the best time of the high-tech of Aaron.
Correa is up to 9th place. This is Miata in the Rodin that will complete the lap, and he comes across the field with a 1:29.6. Here's Oliver Bearman waiting for the line. He's 7th at the moment with his rookie teammate on provisional pole. Long way to go though, 16 minutes. And O'Sullivan goes up to 5th position. It has been a great tale of qualifying performance so far in Formula 2 this year for the team in front of you. And now Invicta gunning to the line, looking for an improvement with Bortoletto, who finds provisional pole by a 10th of a second. But here's the man who was there before, here's the man who's there again. 15 minutes to go, and it's the Estonian moving his way to the front. Paul Aaron, P1, 15 minutes to go. Hauger's going to have a response, and he's got a couple of corners to go. How brave is he feeling through turn 12? Measures it nicely. 13 can be a lock-up fest, not this time. Crank on the steering lock for the 14th and final corner around this 5.2 kilometre circuit. All over the Kirby's goes. Hadjar has gone back to second. Hauger cuts the beam, and he's missed out on provisional pole by 3 thousandths of a second.
Colapinto up to seventh in the background by temperature differences. So that gives you a feel for that. And I'm not got a feel for that. What on earth was that all about through the exit of turn 4?
Villa Gomez
It's on the way down to 11 and then picking up the throttle through the exit using all of the curb. Do not be messing through the apex of 12. We've seen drivers with big swappers, and then don't lock that inside front as you move across for 13. 14 again, another acceleration zone up against the outside wall. Keep the oversteer away, point the car directly at the line and nail the gear shifts for Zane Maloney and see where he can pop up. P1 it is, just 100th clear of Aaron.
Maloney finding the consistency in every sector and improving with the final sector of the lap. Maloney, then Aaron, then Hauger, then Hadjar on board with Behrman. We saw an improvement for Antonelli in terms of lap time. He's 6th at the moment. There's a yellow flag in sector 3, and we are in sector 3. Will it interrupt the laps? Will it cause slowing down? That is the question. Through the dust we go. And the green LED board says it's okay to continue. Bortoletto finds himself moving ahead before we get to the red.
He looks to me like he's just caught the grass, maybe, on the way into turn, trying to open up turn 12 there.
Crash him off. Oh, God, I'm so sorry, guys. All my fault, mate. Okay, Jack, copy that.
Well, we see effect, but I'm not seeing a lot of cause yet. I'm assuming that with the left rear, he's caught the grass on the left-hand side on turning. Maybe he's just lost the car. For whether either way, found himself a
top 10. We'll reverse that top 10 to set the grid for the sprint tomorrow. They line up how they qualify for the feature on Grand Prix Sunday.
Look at this, very slow out of the pit lane. The ones at the rear of the field will not be thanking Gabriel Bortoletto or anybody else that's cruising for that, because they are on a time limit to get round. 3 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock. Should be reasonably comfortable considering they'll be able to build tyre temperature, but they'll want to get round now. They want to be getting on with it to deliver the laps.
One left qualifying, mate.
A sector, but Miney, having not improved specifically, is slightly up on what Maloney has been able to do.
Yeah, Miney looking good to be a contender at the front. Can everyone find a clean way round at the end? Remember, their tyres are going to be coming into the temperature window. Oh, no, he's off. He's off in the background. He was pushing on, looking for the grip. He'll continue. Can he bail out of the way of his teammate? No. And his teammate still pushing on, looking for an improvement to the top 5, currently in 7th place. One Invicta will not compete at the front after that moment. What about the second one? Over the line. Ah, he's found the time! He's found enough time! He wasn't held up! He's taken provisional pole as the checkered flag waves. Can anyone find a lap time to disturb it? Invicta at the front once again, provisionally for the 3rd qualifying session in a row. Antonelli gunning for the line. Antonelli's found the fastest time. Kimi Antonelli to provisional pole with Fittipaldi in the barriers, and surely the end of the session. He's found his way off the road. Antonelli is ahead of Miney. Hauger's still continuing. The yellow flag is flying in sector 2. The checkered flag is waving on the main straight. Does anyone have an answer to Kimi Antonelli, who watched his teammate promoted to Formula 1 last week and might head the field at round number 3? And over the line goes Pepe Marti. Hauger trying to spoil the party. Hauger does spoil the party with a time at the end to snatch away pole position. And how much time did he start the feature race from the front row in his 3rd race for the team? Here's your pole sitter though.
Only the pole position. Pole position. Well done, well done. Congratulations. Yes, yes, yes. Come on. Wow. Oh, yes! Oh, that's how we do it, come on!